Good afternoon students and viewers. Today we are going to discuss about the EXIM policy. In the previous 3 videos we discussed about the all exporting activities and import documents, how we are going to export the product to the abroad country, everything we have to check. And now we are going to see about the EXIM policy. Okay, so before we are enter in this topic, actually that EXIM is nothing but export and import. So that abbreviation is nothing but EX and import. That suffix only they have to take it for the concern. Okay, that is a EXIM policy is nothing but export and import policy. So as any developed countries, suppose any Indian country or any other Asian countries, they have to concentrate and focus on the importing and also as well as the exporting activities. So at that time they have to follow some rules and regulation. It was framed by the some particular typically some government they have to follow it. Okay. So now we are going to see about the overview of the EXIM policy. So actually that EXIM policy is otherwise called as the FTT, is nothing but foreign trade policy, and also actually it is framed by the government of India, and also this EXIM policy it was implemented by the DGFT, that is Directorate of Government and Foreign Trade Activities. The next we move there, it is actually they are promoting the international trade activity. That EXIM policy actually they have to promote, especially they are for in the international trade all activities they have to take in that, and overall activities will be followed. Next we move to the objectives. So objectives of the EXIM policy. So the main purpose or the objective or the goal of the EXIM policy is they have to improve our exporting activities. That is nothing but the boost export activities. Okay, that is the main motive or the main purpose of the EXIM policy activity. They have to improve all the exporters, they have to trading activity, and also they are deliver the goods to the foreign country on time. That is the main focus. Then second motive is they have to try to reduce the trade deficit. So trade deficit is nothing but suppose in case if any people or any country they have to calculate the import and export. Okay, suppose the import is greater than the export, at the time that is called it as the trade deficit. Okay, so as the EXIM policy they are trying to reduce the all exporting activity comparing to the import. That is the point only they have to focus here. The next third one is they have to try to encourage the some producers involved in the some domestic countries. Then fourth one, they are trying to improve the promotional scheme based on the EXIM policy. The next one is the final and foremost objective in the sense availability of the essential goods. Okay, so based on the goods will be produced after their consumption and how to, and that on sufficient activity or the product will be they have to available, and we are sending to the those who need it for the foreign country. At that time they have to take it care all that. So these and all everything is coming under the objectives, or sometimes you can call it as the some goal of the EXIM policy. Okay. The next topic we move to the features of the EXIM policy. So under this topic the feature is the promotion of export. So that they have to focus on the exporting activity, how they are going to promote in the either the online or the offline. So they have to use some guidelines, everything they have to focus. Then second one is it's a liberalization and simplification. So suppose if you are going to trading activity at that time, they have to get all liberalization, that is they have to get the some democratic activities, and also they involve the democracy countries, they have to get the some freedom, they have to send the goods to the without any barrier of the or any restriction from the government itself. So that point only they have to insist in here. Then third one is classification of goods. So under this feature EXIM policy they are going to classify the goods based upon the product we have to manufacture, that is essential, and second one is it is an important goods, and third one is non So based on that only we have to classify the books which is available